Now on CoastTV News.
Independent report released. What was revealed about Lewes's election and the controversial timing of the removal of this H-Park video. Assateague pony killed.
They don't see the signs that say keep 40 feet away.
How the National Park Service is getting involved.
Coming up this weekend, we're watching out for some weekend rain that could turn a bit stormy.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
This independent report released into a video criticizing a Lewes councilman just days before the city's election. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Brandon Ferguson. We begin with the release of this 22-page independent report. Lewes Mayor and City Council voted back on August 5th to release this report into the removal of this May 7th H-Park meeting video. Attorney Max B. Walton of Connolly Gallagher was hired by the city to review why the video was removed and then later reposted. Council agreed to release the report with the names and titles of city staff redacted if those employees wanted to remain anonymous. The report says Councilman Joe Elder and Building Inspector John Ward were upset by comments made by former H-Park Chair Kevin Mallinson made during that May 7th meeting. And follow me on this. The next day, May 8th, the video was removed from public view. The city's election was on May 9th, just one day later, and that's when the video was reposted, and Councilman Joe Elder was running for re-election, winning by just 35 votes. Walton found Elder told a city employees Mallinson's comments made him, quote, look bad, and both Elder and Ward asked City Manager Ellen Lorraine McCabe to take action. But Walton found no evidence the video was removed to help Elder win re-election, writing that the optics are not good surrounding the timing. Walton concluded the video should have never been taken down in the first place. He said it was removed because of what Mallinson said during the meeting and called that, quote, likely improper. Walton also found City Manager Ellen Lorraine McCabe ordered the video removed before getting legal advice from City Solicitor Alex Burns. And while the removal was tied to a pending employee matter involving Building Inspector John Ward, Walton found that review had already been completed. He concluded there was no viable ongoing investigation that required the video to come down. Walton also raised a possible FOIA violation involving an April 6th executive session. He wrote that mayor and council appeared to reach a consensus behind closed doors to not reappoint Mallinson as H-Park chair. Walton is now recommending Lewes adopt formal rules for meeting videos, get legal advice before changing public information practices, and avoid major changes right before an election. Walton wrote, quote, it looks bad. The goal should be transparency for the public. All of this comes as Lewes City Manager Ellen Lorraine McCabe and Deputy City Manager Janet Reeves claimed Deputy Mayor Khalil Saliba has had a pattern of hostile behavior that prompted a formal complaint against Saliba for workplace behavior. Saliba denies all claims, and that too is being investigated. We also have an entire webpage dedicated to this investigation. Click the continuing coverage tab at the top of CoastTV.com. We have breaking news. Draper Media has learned an 80-year-old woman has died after that pickup crash you see on your screen. It happened just after 5 p.m. tonight at Mancini's in Fenwick Island. The Fenwick Island police chief says the driver accidentally hit the gas, striking the woman and her 17-year-old granddaughter right outside of the restaurant. Both were airlifted to Christiana Hospital. The teen's condition is not yet known. Another wild pony has been hit and killed by a car on Assateague Island. The National Park Service says it happened last night on Bayberry Drive. Susie Soul is the second wild pony killed on the island just within the last 2 weeks. Assateague Alliance President Nancy Gaither says people need to just really pay attention to every road sign.
They don't see the signs that say keep 40 feet away. We tell people horses don't read the signs. They can't read. So part of that is important. The other thing is slowing down.
The National Park Service says discussions are already taking place about new ways to keep the roads safe, but no final decisions have been made. BB Healthcare says people in the area should keep an eye out for scams like messages from MyChart asking to click a link and provide private information. Now, scammers impersonate trusted sources, so it's recommended you to not share any of your passwords. If you're unsure of a spam call and the number on your screen, report that message. And here is a look at 7 properties in Millsboro. The locations all are in the town's urban business district. And it's important to note the town of Millsboro owns all of these properties. And one of the town's goals is to raise downtown property value with new development. Another goal for the town is to preserve its historical and architectural features. All 7 of those properties the town wants to sell. The town lays out different ways for developers to invest, organizations to get involved. You can purchase, lease, renovate, develop, or redevelop those properties. One family in Millsboro has their vote for what they want next.
For example, have a park for children with slides and climbing structures. Ideally, a place for kids to play some sports, a volleyball net, and kicking soccer ball.
There are some requirements if you do want to get involved. Timelines must be laid out with a detailed description of what you want to do with the land. Deadline for submissions to the town of Millsboro is on December 31st of this year. Millsboro says the highest bid will not necessarily win when it comes to choosing proposals for the town-owned downtown properties. Town council will also consider the project's feasibility, financial stability, business plan, and track record, and how well it fits into the town's community goals. This brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, what should Millsboro prioritize in its downtown redevelopment? Let's take a look at the updated results from our 6 p.m. news hour. Local businesses leading at 39%, but just behind it, restaurants at 28%, housing 21%. And if you haven't voted yet or you want to leave a comment, you can scan that QR code you just saw or head over to coasttv.com or on our mobile app. Now let's take a live look outside into a packed jam Ocean City boardwalk. A lot of folks out there, I can't blame them. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams for a look at our weather and, more importantly, our weekend weather.
And the weekend weather is looking pretty good, particularly for Saturday, where we're expecting so much sunshine. We might have to say, watch out for the sunshine. That's a nice change of pace other than the cloudy skies and rain we had today. Now in Dover at this present time, we have 73 degrees, dew point temperature 72. So we have a tremendous amount of moisture. We have the air temperature, dew point temperature right there neck and neck with one another. So we have plenty of moisture in place. We want to drop to 71 by 3 o'clock with the increasing cloud cover. Now, we had some sprinkles from earlier this evening, no longer the case. We had some widespread scattered showers that was in the afternoon hours. Those have long since gone. And as far as what we're expecting over the weekend, sunshine on Saturday in Cambridge at 86. Then we drop to 82 on Sunday. And Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening is when we're expecting the best opportunity for scattered showers. And they were going to become a bit muggy on Monday for both locations. We'll talk more about your weekend weather and the rain thereof. Till then, back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Paul. Salisbury's Planning Commission voted to recommend a 1-year moratorium to City Council. The pause could give Salisbury time to develop permanent zoning rules for data center projects before new projects move forward. Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Bill Chambers says communities should carefully weigh both the potential benefits and negativities of data centers.
Local jurisdictions are right to take their time and evaluate whether they want them, whether they can host them, and then take a look, if they can, what those upsides would be.
The recommendation now heads to the City Council, where the council will ultimately decide whether to approve that 1-year moratorium. We also spoke with Chief Administrator for Worcester County today, Weston Young. That county recently passed a 1-year moratorium on data centers. Young spoke about similar concerns with environmental impacts and making sure ratepayers do not foot the bill for data centers. Even if there were no data centers in Maryland, Young says other states' decisions could still impact energy costs.
Maryland is part of a larger, let's say, 14-state grid And even if they don't go in Maryland, they're impacting our electric rates right now.
Young says Maryland counties are in a balancing act now of considering the tax revenue of data centers versus the cost to the energy grid. Now, internationally, President Trump weighing in on the lengthy deployment of a crucial aircraft carrier in the Middle East. Amid growing concerns about the conditions there, the president saying the deployment has gone on not nearly long enough. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez shows us what the president said.
Tonight, President Trump dismissing reports of poor living conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, a key aircraft carrier supporting the war against Iran.
Family members of U.S. service members are concerned about the conditions on board the USS Lincoln.
Well, no, that ship is moving. No, they're not. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly.
The Pentagon now sending another carrier to the region after the more than 5,000 soldiers and Marines on the Lincoln had not made a port call since December, a record. Relatives had complained of plumbing issues and limited fresh food. A U.S. official says one sailor went overboard and was quickly rescued. The president pressed by NBC's Julie Sirkin.
The deployment's gone on too long.
No. Not nearly long enough.
Danielle Rappa's son is on board.
I do support the president overall, but I have every right to disagree with a comment.
We'd spoken with Melanie Stowe yesterday.
It's been difficult.
Her daughter's been deployed since last year.
What do you make of those comments?
Well, I am a Trump supporter. I feel that it was more of a comment that the job hasn't been completed yet, more than the sailors need to stay out there longer.
She had a more pointed response for Defense Secretary Hegseth.
I would say that he should fly his butt out there to take a look.
Tonight, the Navy's acting secretary is calling those on the Lincoln the epitome of American strength, and he's slamming the media for trying to paint them as victims.
We are just getting started tonight on Coast TV News at 11. Coming up, there's plenty of things to do this weekend, from food and drink options to fun and getting ready for back to school. We have your cool things to do coming up in just a little bit. But first, a new way to buy wine in Delaware, how local wine producers are getting ready for a change starting in just under 45 minutes. But first, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams is in the Coast TV First Alert Weather Center. Here's your full forecast in 60 seconds.
Overall, we're looking at a pretty decent weekend. Most of the weekend will be salvaged without a problem. Saturday is going to be absolutely gorgeous with lots of sunshine. You'll need your sunblock. Other than that, Saturday's fine. Sunday gets a little wonky after about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll show you what I'm referring to in just a moment. So in Ocean City right now, we're holding at 77 degrees. A very pleasant 77, a good deal of moisture in the atmosphere, so it's not an uncomfortable 77. 75 is where we'll drop to overnight with mostly the partly cloudy skies. And we have no advisories that we're concerned with at this present time. We've stayed pretty quiet. Now, we had some rainfall totals a little bit earlier where we had accumulations that range between like 2.5 to 3 inches of rain in some isolated pockets down towards Gulf Club shores. We had nearly 1 3/4 there. But right now, we're staying very clear. Now, that rain was from earlier today. And we're kind of sensitive when it comes to rain right now because we've been in the midst of a drought situation. So far this month, we have clocked about 2.5 inches of rain, which is actually over 1.5 inches more just for the month alone. But when you take into consideration the totality of the year, we're still 4.5 or a little bit more than that actually, shy of our normal rainfall total. Now, as far as today specifically is concerned in Salisbury, we received over 1 inch of rain. We had over 1/4 inch actually officially in Georgetown when we finally had an opportunity to tabulate all of the numbers. Now, we also had some 24-hour numbers over 1/2 inch in places like Dagsboro and Laurel. And then in Bethany Beach, we had just under 1/2 inch. Same was true for us actually in Georgetown. Now, we're at 75 degrees in Georgetown right now, but it's also 75 degrees in Redden, Harrington, Bridgeville, and we're at 74 degrees right now in Delmarva. The UV index, this is the only thing we have to watch out for Saturday. I mean, we're talking about 15 minutes you can burn, so you need the sunscreen. And that's the main thing I say, sunscreen, and just be mindful between 10 and 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you know if you burn easily, you've been living with you all your life, right? Okay, so you know. Mostly sunny skies, okay? Winds out of the north-northeast at 5 to 11 miles per hour. 86 for the high in Rehoboth as well as Georgetown. Will warm to 88 in Vienna, Denton, and Easton. And with the winds out of the north-northeast at 5 to 11 miles per hour, we'll warm to 86 in Berlin, Snow Hill, and in Ocean City. Now, Sunday, it gets a little tricky for the afternoon, evening hours because we're looking at a slight to enhanced opportunity for scattered showers, 4 o'clock. We have some more showers developing well to our north and then to our south. We're going to be sandwiched between the two. We'll see how that fills in as we get closer to Sunday. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Not overly hot, not overly cool, not overly stormy, but yeah, watch out for those storms on Sunday. We'll continue to track that for you.
Thank you, Paul. And those storms on Sunday might call for some wine, and a new bill is going to be very convenient for some wine lovers and local wine producers. 48 states have the bill in effect right now, and starting tomorrow in just under an hour, that will be the case for the first state.
Serving wine. Tomorrow marks a new chapter for Delaware's wine industry as a new state law opens the door for wine to be shipped directly to consumers through permitted carriers.
We can ship it right to your house. It'll be there when you get home.
For local producers, that could mean a new way to reach customers without relying only on traditional retail distribution.
There's not a lot of wineries in Delaware, so being able to reach kind of outside of Sussex County and ship to, the people up north, I think it'll really improve our business.
But there are limits. According to the bill, a single household can receive no more than 3 9-liter cases from a direct shipper each year, and direct shippers are limited to 1,800 9-liter cases to Delaware consumers annually. For some wine buyers, the convenience may depend on how much they're buying.
Just getting it shipped to your house is easier, of course, but if I'm just picking up 1 or 2 bottles, I'm always going to go to the local store first.
There are also safeguards to help keep alcohol out of the hands of minors. Deliveries must be signed for by someone at least 21 years old, and delivery workers must complete training to verify consumers' age. The law was signed last year, but lawmakers waited a year before putting it into effect. The state will also study how direct wine shipping affects Delaware wine retailers. That state study is due in 2028.
The law will expire after 5 years unless lawmakers decide to extend it or make the program permanent. We just heard the weather for this weekend. There is plenty of things to do. Here's how you can fill your calendar this weekend. The Wicomico County Fair is celebrating 90 years this weekend at Winter Place Park in Salisbury. Expect rodeo events, livestock shows, eating contests, and amusement rides are also back this year, all for free. Milford's Hippie Fest returns Saturday from 3 to 8 with live music from the Funsters, a DJ, food trucks, plenty of adult beverages, and 60s and 70s styles. The 21 and older fundraiser benefits the Milford Museum. Head over to the Tanger Outlets in Rehoboth Beach for a back-to-school block party Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event at Tanger Seaside includes face painting, crafts, music, games, and giveaways, plus a clothing drive supporting the Clothing Our Kids School program. And in Milton, the Park Royal Apartments is hosting a community outreach and back-to-school drive Sunday from 10 to 1. More than 30 local artists and craft makers are taking over the Cambria Hotel Ballroom in Rehoboth Sunday. The Coastal Delaware Artisan Market runs from 10 to 3, featuring jewelry, paintings, ceramics, woodwork, local food, and more. And parking is free. For a full list of cool things to do, head over to CoastTV.com or on our app, hit that Features tab, and then click Cool Things to Do. Coming up, President Trump's MMR vaccine executive order drawing pushback by medical experts aren't fans. Cyclospora outbreak continues. How many states the disease is in right now?
This is Coast TV News at 11.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says the cyclosporosis outbreak has now spread to 17 states. The FDA announced more than 9,400 people here in the U.S. have been affected. Nearly 400 people have been hospitalized since the federal agency's last update on August 5th. Maine and Massachusetts have been added to the list of states with cases. Medical experts are pushing back on President Trump's new executive order to break up some childhood vaccines. The order calls for the MMR vaccine to be split into 3 separate shots and given at different visits. However, experts say there's no valid or scientific benefit to doing that. They warn it could mean more doctor visits, more cost, and would result in fewer children actually getting fully vaccinated. Coming up in sports, the Ravens and Eagles are getting set to face off in the preseason, with both teams looking a bit different this year. Hear how their quarterbacks are assessing their new situations. But first, Sussex Central student and son of immigrants head to Harvard. What the achievement means to him and his family. In just 1 week, a recent Sussex Central High School graduate will be a first-generation college student, and the school, one of the most prestigious universities in the country, Harvard.
Nos citaron a la Universidad de Harvard.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations.
Sí.
Wow.
Between tears and laughter, that was the moment Rafael Farrera Juarez and his father found out he had been admitted to Harvard.
I'm just really excited, to be honest.
Farrera Juarez plans to major in government and is the first in his family to attend college.
It's a bit of mixed emotions. On one end, very nervous, but on the other, I'm very excited to use all the opportunities that are in my palm.
His dad, Carlos Farrera Diaz, immigrated from Veracruz, Mexico to the first state 20 years ago and told us in Spanish his son's achievement is a source of pride.
Es un orgullo para uno, como hispano, ¿me entiende? Porque no cualquiera llega a esa universidad.
Other acceptances included Columbia University, the University of Pennsylvania, and Brown University. Farrera Juarez founded several organizations at Sussex Central High School.
I'm really happy, and hopefully that as I go to Harvard, I continue to help other students that have helped me create these clubs and mentor them as I've been doing for the past month, and hopefully just helping them get to where they want to go as well. Because wherever I go, I just want to bring others with me.
He says he wants to work in public office.
My dream honest, I've always wanted to be a senator, so hopefully one day I can work my way up there and make connections, get connected with people, and come back here to Delaware.
Getting ready for a new beginning.
The newly Harvard student hopes to inspire others, especially fellow sons of daughters and of immigrants.
Good evening, Delmarva. While the summer's been nice, I know you've got that itch, and it's almost football season. Week 1 of the preseason in the NFL is underway, and a couple of our nearby teams are going to be facing off tomorrow. So let's get into what you should expect from Saturday night's preseason contest between the Eagles and the Ravens.
The last time these birds met was in the 2024 regular season in the bank. But focusing on the present, the Ravens and Eagles once again have Super Bowl aspirations and are both expected to be near the top of the league. For the Ravens, it's year 1 under new head coach Jesse Minter and year 9 for quarterback Lamar Jackson. Many have started to speculate if maybe time has run out for the Ravens to get to the promised land, while personnel in Baltimore believes their championship window is still open as long as number 8 is at QB. Despite missing the playoffs last year, confidence is sky high for the Ravens. On the other side, the Eagles are coming off another playoff appearance, but quarterback Jalen Hurts will be the first to tell you the team fell short of its ultimate goal. During the offseason, the Eagles made headlines when they traded star wide receiver A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots. There's been a lot of talk around the league about how that will help or hurt the Eagles' offense in the short term, but the goal is still a championship for Philly. Let's go inside the mind of both teams' quarterbacks ahead of the regular season as their teams prepare to face off here in the preseason.
Man, I'm still a kid playing ball. It still feels new to me. You know, even though I'm 9 years in, like you said, it still feels new, man. Like you said, you just said it. You know, new coach, new head coach at that, new OC I've had, a couple different OCs. This is my 3rd one, but just what they're bringing to the table. Basically, the message has been this offseason, just holding each other accountable. Coach just conducting everything as we are grown men and being ball players, and that's pretty much, it's just fun.
And all it's about how you respond, who steps up, and who's able to fill that void. And so I've been excited with the time that I've had with all of my teammates just to be able to build and grow. It's a long season. It's a long year. And you want to be able to have equity in everything, build trust in everyone so you can go out there and play fast.
Game time is set for 7 o'clock on Saturday night. You'll get your first look at the new look Ravens and the new look Eagles. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, Delmarva.
I know it's preseason, but I'll say the Ravens in that one for fun. Now our live look over an ocean view at the Indian River Bridge. And after the break, we'll have a final look at your forecast.
Take a look at Lewes. Right now we're at 75 degrees. Lots of moisture hovering, got a bit of fog for the late night hours. If there's going to be any late night traveling, yeah, just keep that in mind. We'll still stick with that with temperatures staying in the 70s. We're not seeing any more additional scattered showers, so rain's not an issue until we get to, well, Sunday. Jay Rosenthal, you have Millville. You're our umbrella winner, courtesy of Paul Davis, property restoration experts. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. The number to call is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11 for the latest news and weather. You can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. That's up next, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great night.